If you're getting close to retirement, one of the biggest questions you may have is this: should I keep my money in stocks or should I move them into an annuity? A lot of people feel like they have to pick one or the other. Either you stay in the market because you want growth, or you move everything into safety because you're scared of losing money. Because retirement is not just about growing money anymore. It is about making sure your money can survive. And that is why today we are going to talk about the real difference between stocks and annuities, what each one is good for, what risks they have, and how many retirees may actually need both. Hi, I'm Michael Larson. I've spent years helping people prepare for retirement, and one thing I've learned is most people do not need more complicated financial products. They need clarity. They need to know which money should keep growing and which money needs to be protected. Because when you are 30 years old, you can recover from mistakes. But when you're 65, the consequences can be very different. Let's start with stocks. Stocks are one of the greatest wealth building tools ever created. If you invested consistently over a long period of time, the stock market has historically gone up over time. That is why many people build their retirement accounts inside 401ks, IRAs, mutual funds, or brokerage accounts that are heavily invested in stocks. And during your working years, that makes a lot of sense. But when you are younger, you still have time. If the market drops, you can keep working, you can keep contributing, you can wait for the market to come back. That is why people in their 30s, 40s, and early 50s can often take more risk. But retirement changes all of that. Once you stop working and start taking money out of your accounts, you no longer have the same luxury of time. Now your portfolio has a new job. Instead of just growing, it also has to produce income. And that is where stocks can become more dangerous. Because if the market drops right when you retire, you may be forced to take money out while your account is down. That creates a problem called sequence of returns risk. This is one of the biggest dangers retirees face, and most people have never even heard of it. Let me explain. Imagine two retirees, both starting with $500,000. Both of them average the same exact long-term return over retirement, but one person experiences bad market years in early retirement, while the other person experiences bad years much later. Even though their average return is the same, the retiree had losses early may run out of money much faster. Why? Because they were withdrawing money while the account was already shrinking. That means they are selling investments at lower values and locking in losses. Then when the market recovers, they have less money to invest to recover with. That is the danger. And that is why retirement is not about average returns. It is also about timing. You can survive a market crash much easier when you're still earning a paycheck. It is much harder when you are retired and depending on your savings to pay the bills. That is where annuities come in. Annuities are designed very differently than stocks. Stocks are meant to create growth. Annuities are meant to create protection and income. An annuity is a contract with an insurance company. Depending on the type of annuity, it may offer protection from market losses, guaranteed income for life, predictable growth, and protection for a surviving spouse. The ability to create income you cannot outlive. That is why annuities can be helpful for people who are more worried about losing money than making more money. Annuities are not perfect. They are not magical. They are not meant to replace every other part of your retirement. The biggest mistakes people make is going too far in either direction. Some people keep everything in stocks and risk losing too much too late in life. Other people move everything into safety and never give themselves a chance to grow enough to keep up with inflation. Both can be a problem because retirement requires balance. You need growth, but you also need protection. You need flexibility, but you also need stability. And that is why the smartest retirement plans are usually not built around only one thing. They are built around layers. For example, imagine someone has $800,000 saved for retirement. Instead of putting all $800,000 in the market or all $800,000 in an annuity, they might divide it into different buckets. One bucket could stay invested in stocks and mutual funds for the long-term growth. Another bucket could go into an annuity designed to create guaranteed income. Another bucket could stay liquid in cash for emergencies and short-term needs. That way, the person is not dependent on the stock market for everything. If the market drops, they still have guaranteed income coming in. They do not have to panic. They do not have to sell investments at the worst possible time. They have breathing room. And that breathing room is incredibly valuable in retirement. Because retirement is emotional. People do not talk about this enough. When people see their retirement account fall by $100,000, $200,000, they panic. They lose sleep. They stop spending. They delay trips. They cancel plans. They worry about becoming a burden on their children. And sometimes they make emotional decisions that hurt them even more. They sell after the market falls. Then they wait too long to get back in. And they miss the recovery. That is one reason why many retirees love having at least some money in annuities, because it gives them peace of mind. They know they have income coming in no matter what the market does. They know that if the market crashes, they are still okay. And that peace of mind can be just as valuable as the money itself. Now, one of the biggest criticisms people make about annuities is that they may not grow as fast as stocks. Well, that's true. If the stock market has a great year, your stock portfolio may grow much faster than your annuity. But remember, annuities are not designed to beat the market. They are designed to protect you from the market. That is a completely different purpose. It is similar to the difference between a sports car and a seatbelt. A sports car may go fast, but the seatbelt is what protects you when something goes wrong. And in retirement, you may need both. You may want part of your money, but you may also want a portion of your money protected so that you know your basic lifestyle is secure. That is especially important for essential expenses. Things like housing, utilities, food, insurance premiums, property taxes, basic travel, medical expenses. Those are the bills that do not go away. And many retirees feel more comfortable knowing those expenses are covered by guaranteed income sources like Social Security, pensions, annuities. They can use the rest of their money for growth, extra spending, gifts, travel, and legacy planning. That creates much more confidence. Because when your essential expenses are protected, you can take more intelligent risks with the rest of your money. So which is better for retirement, annuities or stocks? The honest answer is neither one is better by itself. They simply do different jobs. Stocks are great for growth. Annuities are great for protection and guaranteed income. And the closer you get to retirement, the more important it becomes to understand which money needs to grow and which money needs to be safe. Because retirement is not about getting the highest return. It's about making sure you can keep living the life you want without running out of money. And if you are within 5 to 10 years of retirement or already retired, this is the time to start thinking carefully about how your money is divided. How much do you want exposed to the market? How much do you want protected? How much income do you need every month? And what would happen if the market dropped 20% or 30% next year? Those are the questions that matter. Because the best retirement strategy is not about picking one side. It's about building a plan that helps you sleep better at night while still giving your money a chance to work for you.